So, there comes a point in life where everything seems just so pointless. At least that's what happened to me. And if you clicked on this video, you probably are or you've been at the crossroad and you need to choose a direction. They say life has no meaning but the one you give. Back when I was feeling that everything was pointless, I was like, well, my life has no meaning and I'm not giving any. The end of the tunnel had no light. It was endless loop of darkness. So if you have this feeling like life seems to fall into meaningless void, I won't tell you to give your life meaning. Although that's exactly what's gonna happen if you finish watching this video. The steps I took will tremendously help you see at least one light at the end of your tunnel. Let's go back in the early days. Believe it or not, I used to be a spoiled kid who got everything I wished for. At the turn of events, life didn't seem to play always in my favor, especially after a dreadful period when my mother passed away. And if you personally knew me back then, you also know that my mother was basically my whole life. When it happened, I felt like one piece of me was torn away. I turned cold and self-absorbed, and I didn't really feel love from the ones around me. I felt so lonely. And we all know what loneliness brings. Depression, which falls in the category of the daunting question. Why is my life worth living? What's the point? In the void and emptiness when life is all gray, there's a tiny spark that is trying to get your attention. To me, that feeling was the rock bottom. I was grinding down at the bottom of the ocean, and the only way was to listen to this tiny spark that kept on saying, you have so much to live for. Now fast forward, even when I created the so-called dream life for me back a few years ago, the thought of life was still haunting me. At moments I was pretty sure that everything I do was in vain. If you ever feel this, I'm here to tell you that it's 100% okay to have this feeling of distaste and question mark on your head. The first thing I did when I felt it was pretty much the thing I always do when I feel down. I took out a piece of pen and paper and wrote down everything I felt. The first question was, why do I feel what I feel? The answer was, because I feel like crap and nothing feels like it matters anymore. Second question was, is there any tiny thing I can do that will make me feel better? Now keep in mind, when you ask yourself these questions, the point is to help yourself. I know that many of you listening to this now won't even take a piece of pen and paper because you already feel like crap. And with that feeling, you don't even want to improve your situation. But believe me, to improve your situation, the first step that you need to take is to open the drawer and take out a piece of pen and paper. Honestly, don't even continue to watch this video if you didn't take the first step. Because if you don't want to help yourself, I cannot help you. For all that you did, let's move on. The answer to the second question was yes, I can listen to a song I love. That was the answer. I didn't want to take any direct action to solve my problem, like find my vision or finish the project, just to listen to my favorite song back at the time. I played the song and wrote down the third question. What is really the point of life? I know that many of you will find this really personal, like be happy, be fulfilled, be rich, be wealthy. But the truest, the most authentic answer to this question is to serve humanity. And serving others will make you happy, it will make you fulfilled, and it will even make you rich and wealthy. Honestly, that's the last thing people find down in the answers. But the point of life is to serve humanity. This way we serve ourselves and we make ourselves happy. Just how good we feel when we hold the door for someone. Okay, maybe not that much, but even a simple, trivial, and unimportant thing we do for other people can make us feel so much better. A good example of serving in my case is that I want to create this video and help you guys that struggle the most. One comment from you guys that I really helped you in a situation can really make my day, honestly. As long as I serve others, I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm fulfilled, I'm wealthy, and all the things we search for internally. Those things cannot be found inside. Just look at what happens when people are alone, especially old people. They get depressed, they get lonely, and they think about death most of the time. It's the cause of not having someone to help or serve. And don't interpret serving as being someone else's slave. It's the time you give through work or simply any physical form that makes other people's lives better. I know that it's weird, but even selling a high-tech washing machine can make someone's day. So as long as you do something that makes people's lives better, you are serving. Again, serving is not slaving. Many people, even people I know, are way too good to others, and they expect them to be good to them with the same amount. This is not the case for a majority of people. They can even do harm in return. And if you allow this to happen more frequently, you are not serving others. And sorry for being explicit, but you're a stupid person disguised in their own illusion as being a good person that's serving others. And the difference between a good person and a stupid person is that stupid people will be taken advantage of. You will always give your helping hand, and this is my personal example. You will always help others, but no one will help you. And you will start to question like, life is not fair. Why is life worth living, right? You will even come to this question by being too good to others, and people will take advantage of it. Being a truly good person, for example, here's a clear example. If someone needs your finances, go and sign a contract. You will give them the finances, but sign the contract with a stamp. You don't need to put a personal tax on them like 3-4% a year, but be bound by a contract. If they can return in 3 to 6 months, it's all good, right? But if they can't, you're bound by contract. If you help people once, twice, 3 times, but they're not here for you when you need it, where's the connection, right? You're being taken advantage of. Don't let this happen. So let's return to writing. The list of questions can keep on adding until you find that tiny spark at the end of the tunnel that will make you take the first step and get out of the rut. Now that you've found the tiny spark, it's time for the second step, which is to take action. No! Honestly, we hate action. Action is why we don't do anything in the first place. In former times, people had to take action or they die. It's as simple as that. Nowadays, we can choose to lay in bed, not move a finger, and live for 100 years. And we take advantage of this all the time. When nothing is pushing us to take action, our brain takes advantage of this and overuses it to the point of depression. Your brain doesn't care if you're happy or fulfilled as long as the brain doesn't have to waste a tiny bit of energy to live. This is because long time ago we had a tough time living. We had to hunt, survive, and even keep the family intact. This was very demanding task back then. There were too many sides of danger, from tribes attacking other tribes, from wild animals, to starvation, to disease. In order to help us survive, our brains adapted to this. So they saved all the energy they can so they can release it back to us when we are facing real danger, which was way too many back then. Why do you think your brain works with full capacity when you, for example, a bad one, bump your car on a parking lot? Your whole body goes through stress, and if you were sleepy, now you're wide awake. If you felt low on energy, now you explode from it. Your brain is now spending the energy it saved to fight or flight in a stressful situation. Now the catch is that today we have no real danger like before. Nowadays we don't fight with animals, with tribes, and in most communities, starvation. Our brains kept this energy-saving mode even in the perfect conditions we live in today. And by people, we take advantage of this by laying in bed, subconsciously thinking that we might need the energy later. And we never do. If you ask me, I think the swift evolution of technology is partly to blame why we are so mentally unhappy today. We mostly don't use technology to improve our life like all the incredible apps they make, but mostly we scroll on social media and suck every unnecessary information. When you add all of this up, it's not really strange to be depressed and question our whole existence. It's calculated result. So how do we take the first step? Write things down, take action. I know it's only a couple of questions and answers, but we did elaborate why it's so important to have them written in a 10-minute video. If a song gives you that first push, do it. If dancing does it, do it. Don't look what everyone does and try to find a middle ground just so you are not left behind. We are all unique, incredible human beings with different and unique life experiences. What works for you, just do it. Second, take that piece of pen and paper and start writing immediately. In no time you will see the light at the end of the tunnel, and in the near future you will get out of the tunnel to an incredible view. It all boils down to serving others, champs. Make sure you find the answer to how can I serve others. Believe me, we all have something to give to the world. At first sight, we are all just empty. But when you answer the question, you found an infinite gold mine within yourself. Use that to give to the world. And believe me, you will never ask yourself again the question if you're wasting your life. Gems, thank you so much for watching this entire video. I truly hope I give you a different perspective on things in life. If I did, make sure to hit that like button so more people in need can see this video. By tapping that button, you help me serve others. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you want to see more videos in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button too. See you in the next video here.